Hi there, Diane from Pixiebell here. I get a lot of questions about how to sew up the back of our Signature Pixiebell hats. As you can see here, I have one finished that is ready to be seamed. And as you're looking at it, this section right here, this is your brim. This is the part that goes around your face. These are the sides of the hood. And this is the back, and this is the part that you're going to be sewing together. Okay, so let me get my tripod down here. Okay, so the part you're going to be seaming is this, is going to be seamed to this. Let me fix this up a little. There we go. Okay, so you're going to fold your hood with the outsides out and the inside touching. Okay, so if you can imagine, this is the hood. Let me pick the camera up again and maybe you can better see. This is the hood. This is the part around your face. These are the sides around your chin and your neck. This is the part you're seaming up, okay? Before I had it like this. Alright? So, what you're going to need is a length of yarn that's a bit longer than the hood itself on a tapestry needle. Okay. And what you're going to be doing is basically the mattress stitch, which isn't really a stitch at all. It's just a way of sewing things up. And where I start is at the end, not the tip of the hood, but the neck end. And I don't start right here at this garter stitch section. I'll start right here where it's stockinette, because it's easier to start there. Because at some point in the mattress stitch you have to pull both sides to cinch it up, and sometimes down here it sort of gets stuck a little bit. So let me see if I can. What you're going to do is you're going to look at this first set of V's, like here's a set of V's, here's a set of V's, here's a set of V's. You're going to take the both legs of the V's and put your needle underneath it and pull it through. And I leave a good amount at the end because I'm going to come back later and sew this end up. So you've got it. You've got your first stitch on this side sewn in. Now you have to find this stitch on the corresponding stitch on the other side of the hood. So just fold over the sandwich hood and you're going to see it's right there. Now you're going to want to get sort of close to the edges, but not super close. Like let's say I could go in right there, but it's a little bit of a tight knit right there, and sometimes it ends up looking a little puckered. So I usually go for one stitch back sometimes. It sort of depends on what it looks like. You have to make that decision for yourself if you want to go on the stitches right at the end or the stitch that's a little further back. So see, I've got this side done, I've got that side done. Then you do the next stitch. So here I have two legs right there, go through the two legs, fold it over to the other side, find the corresponding two legs, go through those. Okay, we're just going to do that the whole way up the hood. So here's two, and there's the other two. And I just sort of keep my finger here so I can go back and forth really easily. So here's two legs, and there's two legs. And it's not a perfect science. It's just sort of you're just trying to attach one side to the other side. So here's 2, and here's 2, and now we're getting to the part where it's sort of a stair step up. And again, you're just using your best judgment here. Right here, I like that stitch. I'm going to go into that one. And back on the other side, I choose 2 legs and go through the 2 legs. 2 legs here, 2 legs on the back, 2 legs on the front. We're about halfway now. And at about the halfway point, I start to cinch it up a little bit, just so that it doesn't sort of get stuck later on, and then I only cinched half and I didn't cinch the other half. So you're going to grab this end where your needle is, this end, and then your tail end over here, and you're just going to pull. And you see how it just sort of sandwiched it up nice and tidy. There's no weird stitches. It's not too bulky. It's a nice seam for the back. And then you're just going to continue. You'll go to the next 2 legs and turn it, and the next 2 legs, and those 2, and those 2. I'm assuming I'm keeping this in frame. I can't really tell. And there's 2. And there's 2. And you're just sewing it up. If you hear clicking in the background, that's just my dog walking around. Oh, she's decided to say hello. Pepper. Go sit. No, go. Go, go, go. Okay, and we're getting close to the end. This is your tail right here. This was the tail from your bind off. Just stuff that in there for right now. You're not going to deal with that yet. There's 2. We're almost there. Almost. Oh, here we go. Get in there. And there's 2. And when you get to the top, you kind of gotta zhuzh it around a bit. Make sure that you get both sides in there, okay? And then, here, I've taken my needle off. Then you're going to cinch one more time. You're going to pull. See how that just sort of nicely closed that up, okay? Then, what you're going to do is, I'm going to put that needle back on. And you're going to sort of drop it into the hat. You're just going to feed it through. My needle came off. Let's see if it came through. Yeah, no, it didn't. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Let's get my needle on there. Of course, it always likes to embarrass me when it's on camera. Otherwise, it's super simple. Okay, so go through the point, come out the other side, and this is your back side here, and kind of tighten it up, but not super tight. Okay, so this is the point. This will be the top point. This is the inside of the top point of your hat. So what I do with this extra yarn here is I whip stitch it across this section to the point where this was where the bind off was. So I just sort of whip it, and what this does is it sort of reinforces the point. It makes it extra sturdy up top. So you're just going from the bottom to the top and whipping it around and making sure that your yarn comes down nicely for each stitch. From the bottom to the top, bottom to the top, until you get to that point where your bind off yarn is. And then I just take the extra yarn and slide it up through the top, pull it out, and do the same thing with that bind off yarn, just to close it up, just to get it out of the way. And it adds to the stiffness of that point. So clip those, turn it back inside out, or right side out, and you still have this section down here, this little bit, easy enough. Put that on your needle. Of course, it never wants to go on when I'm on camera. Any other time, it goes through the eye just fine. There we go. Okay, so you're going to sew up this little end bit. This is where the back of the neck is. You're just going to whip that through from the outside, or you can do it from the inside if you want to. It just needs a few stitches in there to close it up. Okay, and then from the inside, just hide that yarn in there, in that seam. It's nice and snug in there. They don't come loose. Alright, so that's how I do the back of the Pixie hat. Now I still need to, that's my cast on, I still need to weave that in. But let me pick up the camera here and show you. See, it's all nice and closed up. You have a nice seam up the back. You have a nice point on the top that's nice and stiff, so that it's going to stay that way. It's not going to get all floppy. See? And that is your signature pixie hood.